All right, let's get right into it. We've all been told that fat gain is just a simple math problem, right? Calories in, calories out. But what if I told you the real story is, well, a whole lot more than that? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and unmask the 5 biological villains that are secretly wrecking your metabolism. You ever feel like you're doing everything by the book? You're eating clean, you're hitting the gym, but that number on the scale just refuses to move? It's maddening. And that frustration is a huge sign that there's something deeper going on, something beyond just willpower. See, this isn't a fight against your own discipline, it's a full-on biological war. Your body is running on ancient survival software that, frankly, is not designed for our modern world. So let's get to know the 5 key saboteurs that are turning your body's fuel into stubborn fat. Okay, first up, we've got maybe the sneakiest one of them all, the sleep thief. And listen, getting less than 6, maybe 7 hours of sleep, it's not just about feeling a little groggy the next day. No, it is a direct hormonal assault that throws your entire system into absolute chaos. So what's actually happening here? It's a brutal double whammy. When you're sleep deprived, leptin, that's the hormone that tells your brain, hey, we're full, it just tanks. At the exact same time, ghrelin, the one that screams feed me, it skyrockets. The result? Your body is chemically programmed to crave more food and feel less satisfied. You might end up eating 20 to 30% more without even realizing why. And get this, the damage is immediate. This is just wild. A single bad night of sleep can drop your testosterone, which is critical for building muscle and burning fat, by the same amount as aging an entire decade or more. Think about that. So how do we fight back against the sleep thief? It's simple, but it's not always easy. You have to make sleep a non-negotiable part of your life. We're talking 7 to 9 hours. Turn your bedroom into a cave, make it dark, make it cool, make it quiet. Honestly, this one change can be a total game changer for your metabolism. All right, moving on to villain number 2, the sugar lock. This is all about something called insulin resistance. Now, think of insulin as the key that unlocks your muscle cells to let sugar in for energy. With insulin resistance, it's like that key gets rusty, and eventually, it just stops working in the lock. And this kicks off a really nasty, vicious cycle. First, you get a flood of sugar in your system. Pretty soon, your cells just get tired of hearing the signal, and they go deaf to insulin. So now all that sugar is locked out of your muscles, it has nowhere to go for fuel. The body's last resort? It takes that sugar and stores it as fat, and not just any fat, but that really dangerous visceral fat around your organs. But here is the really good news. This villain has a major weakness. Research shows that high-intensity interval training, HIAIT, can slash insulin resistance by a whopping 25% in just a matter of weeks. It's like you're giving yourselves a complete metabolic reboot. And here's another powerful and super simple tactic. Just take a walk for 20 or 30 minutes after your meals. It helps your muscles literally soak up that extra sugar from your blood. If you combine that with meals that are high in protein and fiber, you're well on your way to beating the sugar lock for good. Okay, let's meet villain number 3, the belly's enemy. You might know it by its other name, cortisol. We all know chronic stress feels bad in our heads, but it's sending a very physical signal to your body to hoard fat, specifically around your midsection, as an emergency fuel supply. So what's its attack plan? Well, it's a multi-front assault. First, it makes you crave high-sugar, high-fat junk food. Then, it slows your metabolism by messing with your thyroid. It also directly tells your body to store fat on your belly. And to top it all off, it actively fights against muscle-building hormones like testosterone. Nasty stuff. I love this quote because it just nails the problem. Our ancient stress response was built for running from a saber-toothed tiger. Today, that same life-or-death response gets triggered by a traffic jam or an angry email. And that emergency fuel our body stores, it just becomes, well, sofa fat. Now, defeating this enemy doesn't mean you have to quit your job and move to a monastery. Seriously, just 10 minutes of meditation, or even just a few cycles of slow, deep breathing can send a powerful signal to your nervous system that says, hey, we're safe. It's a simple act that can slash cortisol and break that stress fat cycle. All right, on to our 4th villain, the shutdown engine. We really have to stop thinking about muscle as something that just looks good. Muscle is your body's metabolic furnace. The less muscle you have, the slower and colder that furnace burns. I mean, just look at the numbers here. It's not even a close fight. Pound for pound, muscle tissue burns nearly 3 times more calories at rest than fat tissue does. It is hungry. It's burning energy 24/7, even when you're just sitting there watching TV. And the impact is huge. Gaining just 10% more muscle can crank up your resting metabolism by about 7%. That might not sound like a ton, but over time, that's like getting a free calorie burn every single day without doing a thing. So this villain's weakness is pretty obvious, but it's incredibly powerful. You gotta do some resistance training. And no, you don't need to live in the gym. Simple bodyweight exercises. Think squats, push-ups, lunges, done just 3 times a week is more than enough to reignite that metabolic engine.
And that brings us to our fifth and final villain, the broken clock. Your body runs on a master 24-hour clock called the circadian rhythm. When you eat out of sync with that clock, especially late at night, you're basically throwing the entire metabolic orchestra out of tune.
This is so fascinating. It's not just what you eat, it is when you eat it. Your body is primed and ready to burn calories way more efficiently during the day. If you eat the exact same meal late at night, your body will burn fewer of those calories and store more of them as fat. And the scale of this is just massive. Let that sink in. Your internal clock is the conductor for up to 70% of your metabolism. Just by aligning your eating habits with your natural rhythm, you're giving your body a massive efficiency upgrade, completely for free. So how do you fix the broken clock? The rule of thumb is incredibly simple. Just give your body a break. Try to finish your last meal of the day at least 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep. That gives your whole system time to wind down and get in sync. Okay, here's the most important part. None of these villains work alone. They are a team and they feed off each other. Poor sleep jacks up your stress. That stress makes you insulin resistant. Insulin resistance makes you store fat, which is made worse by low muscle and late-night eating. It's a powerful, vicious cycle. But the good news? Now you know their playbook. You have the intel now. You know how they operate. And more importantly, you know their weaknesses. So the real question isn't if you can win this battle. The question is, where are you going to start? Which one of these enemies will you attack first?